want to talk to everyone, but especially my young brothers that are in all the major cities that came up in the ghetto. That maybe they're in gangs, maybe they're second, third generation gang members. You're destroying your own community. And history and data will make you realize, if you look at this history and data, that every moment that you go out in the street and you pull out a gun and you shoot another black person, or anyone for that matter, but especially people in your community, you are a death condom. You have taken away future children and families of yourself and of people in your community that look like you, dress like you, listen to the same music you listen to, but because they may be a blood, or they may be a Crip, or they may be from this block, old block, this, that, the other, you say that they're your ops. The people that are your ops are the people that take away government funding for programs for training, the people that turn around and allow weapons to proliferate your community, the representation and institutions that have not made changes to their credo, i.e. the NAACP, the Urban League, Black Congressional. These individuals have failed you by not doing what it is they need to do to try to protect you from the outside influences that have always been over the black community since blacks first arrived to the United States, before it was even the United States. We're in trouble now because what they have done to you is they have screwed your head on and off like a light bulb, and they've convinced you to take your Glocks with your switches on it and just start filling out people here and there, everywhere. And you're the new Ku Klux Klan. They have taken you from days where you could see pictures from history where hundreds of white people are in a plaza and blacks are hanging from a tree. That's in the 1900s. We'll probably never know the thousands of black people that actually, after Reconstruction, got land, and then they were hung on that land. And there's somebody today who is the ancestors of the people that hung those people and stole their land, who have generational wealth. So there's a lot of different dynamics and pieces to it. Let's look at the Willie Lynch manifestos. And the Willie Lynch manifesto was, hey, we're not going to do what the British and the French and the Spanish did with slavery. What we are going to do is we're going to divide the family. Some aspects of that exist to this very day. And all you got to do is go onto your YouTube feed and you can find Memphis is #1 for murder. Dallas rappers getting killed. People in their own family fighting at Chuck E. Cheese. It's just a mishmash of horrific violence that is literally destroying a certain aspect of the black community in the United States. So here's some Here's some free. That's real data. The Willie Lynch manifestos. You know that your ancestors went through slavery. Then you know there was Reconstruction. Then you know that there was a period after Reconstruction where we fell backwards because so many whites were so hating on black people. They were murdering wherever they saw them. They found every which way to take away your ability to have generational wealth, all these different things. And in the midst of all that, here you have a place like Tulsa and Black Wall Street. And that was the first time that military assets were used on civilians that were Americans in their own country. They were so hateful of the way blacks were working together in Tulsa that they burned them out. 15,000 people burnt out, 3,000 homes. You can look it up. It's a data point. Then you go and we make it through the Industrial Revolution. Blacks come from the South, from these agrarian areas, and go to the cities. And what do our representatives do? They sell out all the American people, and they move all the jobs overseas. Your enemy is not with the guy who is struggling just like you, no matter what his background, race, gender, whatever is. Our problem is with poor leadership and a vacuum of leadership. And certainly we can have a real conversation about what took place with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And both of those men were allowed to live and weren't murdered by a system that completely is trying to subjugate and eliminate black people. And this is what brings us to what we have today. And the result is today is that instead of the Ku Klux Klan murdering you, and they may very well still exist in the layers and folds that help to put drugs in your community and help put weapons in your community. But that doesn't mean you have to use them. And as a guy that likes to get data and information from all different sources, I've always enjoyed the Joe Rogan podcast. And Joe Rogan said something that was very, very good for anybody going through anything. And that is, if you're struggling with your weight, you can always do something different. Just a few minutes, a few moments. Well, that same thing applies to all you young brothers out there that have guns and weapons and are looking to shoot and destroy another brother off of some gang symbols or some other nonsense. We have a bigger picture that we have to see now. And we got to see that we've been played. And that meme that you see all the time, you played yourself. You're playing yourself every time you kill another brother. You're playing yourself every time you destroy and kill a child. I'm watching a brother yesterday, and this is what prompted me to even make this video. Some young brother, I don't even know what city it was in. And he listened to drill rap, making the drill rap, which I think is complete garbage. And it's not useful to the community whatsoever. And he was peeing on somebody's grave. Now, I can't imagine the people that have died that came before you. From Malcolm, from Martin, from Fred Hampton, from all these beautiful brothers and sisters that really try to work to improve black people's existence in this country. And what we got in 2024, 2023, 2024 is a young brother with his pants falling down off his ass, pissing on somebody's grave that had been murdered. We have fallen. And there's an aspect of our communities throughout the United States. I am begging you to look at your history and look at the data and realize you're being played. And take the next 5, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years off from killing each other and move in a different direction that's based on data and knowledge and information, and try to work together. And who you can't work with, then you can't rock with them. Fine. That doesn't mean you have to kill them. And finally, to end this, you have some homework to do that was free on Netflix. They cloned Tyrone. I need for you young brothers that are in all these different communities around the United States that are killing each other and killing your own kids and killing your women to watch, and the women too, because you're a part of this. We got plenty of Pukishas out there along with the Ray Rays. I need you to watch They Clone Tyrone over and over and over and over again until it sinks into your brain what this wonderful film is trying to tell you. They don't need to come to your house and drag you out of the house like they did in the 18 and 1900s. They give you all the tools to kill yourself. We're only 13% of the population of the United States, but we make up nearly 53% of all the murders that take place. It's a disproportionate number to the total number of people that we are. And our consumer capability is like $2 or $3 trillion. And there's ways for us to do things where we can start to reconstruct ourselves and take different elements from our past, from our present, and what our future could be in a positive way. So I'm begging you, brothers, sisters out there, when you go to McDonald's and somebody doesn't give you a biscuit, you don't pull out a gun. You know, when you are in the Waffle House and somebody comes in there and steps on your new white sneakers, you don't pull out a gun. We have to get control of this. If we don't, you'll get what you see in the movies, in science fiction movies. You know why there's no black people in the future? Because they're all dead. Stay blessed, stay smart, have love for yourself and love for your brothers and sisters.